If you were wondering how you can get started in any virtual wholesale market across the US, this video is going to be for you, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how you can actually get that done in 15 to 20 minutes. Let's get into it. All right, so the very first tool that is crucial to your wholesaling business whenever you're trying to get in the market quickly is PropStream. PropStream will give you access to any city in the United States where you can pull 10,000 records from. So if you want to be in Miami one month, and if you decide that you want to go to Texas the next month, PropStream is the way to go, because you get 10,000 records at the beginning of every month. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go into my computer, and for example, I'm going to pull 50 records and show you how I start with these 50 records and how I push it all the way through until I'm actually marketing to the records using my other softwares as well too. So let's hop into my computer now. All right, so now that we are inside of PropStream, I'm going to show you step by step how I enter into a new market. And the way I do that is I first do my research, of course, to figure out which market that I want to go in. And once I identify that market, it's time to pull data. So whenever I'm pulling data first, I'm going to go in here and let's say that we're going to pull an absentee list. You see all the list options that you have. There's so many list options. That's why it's very important that you use PropStream, and make sure you use my link below, because you'll be able to pay $97 per month. And it just greatly helps out the channel, and it shows that you appreciate the content that I'm providing. But for absentee owner, what you're going to do, you're going to go up here to owner occupied. You're going to change it to no. The occupancy status, you're going to leave it at any. Property characteristics, single family, condos and townhouses, multifamily, and that's it. And then we're going to go down to MLS status. On market, no, we don't want any properties that's on market. We're going after off-market properties. So we have that updated now. We don't do anything in pre-foreclosure tab. Now we go to ownership info, owner type. We want to go after individuals. Years of ownership, let's do at least 6. You can do whatever you want. I recommend 6 or more, because then you know that, okay, this is not someone that's getting ready to flip a property or anything. The estimated value is important because you don't want to be marketing to $1 million properties. So let's say in this particular area that renovated properties are going for around $350. So now what's going to happen is that's only going to give you properties that investors are going after, going and fixing it up and putting it on the market. So after that, you will want to go to estimated equity percentage and change that to minimum 100%. So that means the property is free and clear. So as you can see, there are 9,726 records that are owned by individual owners, and they are free and clear. What I'm going to do for the example, like I said before, is I'm going to take the top 50 records to show you, just give you a small example on how it's done. So now I have the 50 records selected. I'm going to create a list, and I'm going to name it Dallas, Texas owner. Just to stay organized, I do put the date behind it. So let's say the date is 07/30. 2022. So that lets me know that I pulled this absentee list July 30th, 2022. So it's saved now. All right, so we saved 50 records. So now we would just have to refresh, because sometimes it doesn't show up immediately. But the next thing that we would do is go into properties, go up to the little search symbol. There goes the list. So now we have our list, and you can skip trace inside of here, but I don't skip trace because I actually go to the next step, which is uploading it into my next tool, which I'm getting ready to mention now. But what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to export the data. And now you see we have a full list. Now, if you're enjoying this content so far, just take 1 second, hit the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell, because that's going to let YouTube know that this content is valuable, and it's going to continue to push it out to more people. And we have a goal to hit 1,000 subscribers by the middle of this month. And that also lets me know that our community is growing. So just take 1 second to do that. Now let's get back into the video. So now you see it's just as simple as that. That's what I do inside of PropStream whenever I'm getting started in a new market. I export it, clean up the Excel spreadsheet, get it ready to go into the next tool, which is REI Sift. Now you don't necessarily have to have REI Sift, but it's something that I use to make sure that I have that solid foundation and that my data remains clean. But we're going to go back into my computer. I'm going to show you how I use REI Sift on a daily, and hopefully you decide to use REI Sift to help keep your business organized. let's get back into my computer. All right, so now that we are back into my computer now, what I want you to see is that after I exported the records out of PropStream, I went on and I cleaned up the data and get it prepared to go into REI-CIF. So you see the only headers that I have in Excel is address, city, state, zip, county, owner first name, owner last name, mailing address, mailing city, mailing state, mailing zip. When you export it out of PropStream, you're gonna notice that it has a lot of different headings that you will have to clean up. So once you do that, all you have to do is save your Excel spreadsheet as a CSV file, and then you can upload into REI-CIF. So let's go into REI-CIF now. All right, so now we are in REI-CIF. If you are going to use REI-CIF, this is just a dashboard that you'll see every time you log in. So you see that I have over 100,000 records in REI-CIF. You see that it keeps track of how many properties are vacant out of all the data that I have, and it keeps track of the newly vacant properties that becomes available out of the 100 every single month. So it updates it every 30 days. And it tells you how many records you have with phone numbers, and it tells you how many records you have without phone numbers. And it also tells you how many you have that you actually skip traced, but it did not come back with phone numbers. So that's a plus, because that means you can upload it into another skip tracing service to get those numbers. I'm not going to go into deep detail about that stuff. I just want to show you how I get started in the new markets. I'm going to come here and I'm going to go to upload file. I'm going to go to add data, and then it's going to ask you, what are you going to add? And you're going to say, I'm going to upload a new list, not in REI-CIF yet. Then you will have to go to where did you purchase the list. Of course, we got it out of PropStream. This is how it keeps track of when you uploaded records and where you got the records from. So then you just choose a date, which is the 30th, and then it asks, does the data contain phone numbers? You would say no, it has not been skip traced yet. If you're using REI-CIF, never skip trace your data before you upload it into REI-CIF, and you're gonna see why in a second. So we're not gonna create a new list because it's just absentee owner list. Well, we're just going to save it as free and clear because it's 100% equity. So okay, it automatically generated these tags. The list was purchased on July 2022. The list was purchased from PropStream, as you can see here. And what we're going to do, since we're going to be in multiple markets, you got to make sure you add the city tag. So the city tag in this situation will be Dallas, Texas. So that's the new tag that we're going to add. So anytime we want to go directly to Dallas, Texas records, we just type in Dallas, Texas, and it's going to show all the Dallas, Texas records. So now it's time to upload the data. So you have your Dallas, Texas records right here. Then you just have to match the columns. I'm pretty sure if you've been wholesaling for a while, you know you have to, whenever you're using some type of marketing software or something, you got to match columns so it can upload the data correctly. So we're going to match address with property streets, the city with property city, the state with property state, the zip code with zip code, and the property county with county. So you see the check mark has actually shown up. That means everything is mapped properly. But we want to make sure, we just want to come down here and verify that these are actually mapped properly as well too. So the first name is matched with the first name, last name is matched with last name, address is matched with address, city is matched, everything is matched. So now we will go to next, and then we just review the records and make sure everything is correct, which it is. Then we're gonna click finish. All right, so now everything is uploaded, it should be in here. So once you do that, what you will see is that you have a clean tab, you have incomplete, and you have all. So since REI-CIF has not updated the Dallas, Texas records yet, sometimes it takes a little bit of time if they're doing some updates in the system. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take the first 10 records that you see here, and then I'm gonna show you how, after I upload the records into REI-CIF, I'm gonna show you what I do next. You can either skip trace it in REI-CIF, which I don't do, but I will export these records, these 10 records that's highlighted. I'm just gonna name it YouTube video test. So I just named the YouTube video test just for this example. So you go to the download page, and it's completed already. So the next thing to do is just to download the list, and we just want to clean it up a little bit. So now the 10 records that we have, I know we started off with 50, but like I said, REI is taking a little bit of time, but I know you see we have the 50 records, so now they are ready to skip trace. So now we're going to go into back skip tracing. If you haven't used back skip tracing, definitely feel free to use it. I have an affiliate link in the description as well that you can use, and I also have codes that'll give you 8 cents, 10 cents skip tracing through back skip tracing. So please feel free to use my link below. You know, because like I said, it's going to help support the channel. Definitely feel free to use that. So what we're going to do, we're going to bulk skip trace. We have 10 records. Now we're going to upload it into back skip tracing. And these are the only ones that we really need. We're going to need property address, city, state, first name, last name. Mailing address is very important. Mailing city, mailing state, and mailing zip. Make sure you add the property zip as well too. So once that is done, you just make sure that everything is mapped correctly, and then we're gonna name this YouTube test. That's what we're gonna name it. So then we go to the next tab. See, it's charging 20 cents. Let me show y'all a cheat code. Only got charged 8 cents to skip trace. So right now, I'm using a discount currently to get this done. But if you want the discount, if you want to know what the discount is, definitely feel free to leave a comment down below saying back skip tracing 8 cents, and I'll give you the most recent code that I have. So that's pretty much how we skip trace. I didn't skip trace it just now, but I just wanted you to see the process of actually going through REI to get this done. And what I want you to do now is just focus on getting prop streams set up if that's what you want to use. Like I said, that's absolutely crucial to your business if you're going to be going in virtual markets. REI you don't need it right now, but it would definitely be beneficial to your business because it helps you keep track of your data. It allows you to stack your data and constantly keeps you updated on how many records you have, which is very important. Now, like I said before, just use the link below to sign up for it if that's something that you want to do. It definitely helps support the channel. In the next video, because I told you this was going to be a series, I'll show you how I market to the data after I skip trace it directly out of REI and I'll be showing you the tools that I use that save me a lot of money every single month compared to what other people are charging to send text messages and ringless voicemails. So please stay tuned and go back and look at the first video here, and that will be the intro to the series, and I'll see you next time.